Welcome to Just Minding My Business Radio, where we are moving at the speed of God, learning what we didn't know we didn't know. I'm your host, Ida Crawford, so grab a pen and paper and get ready for information that you can use.
Welcome to Just Minding My Business Media. We are so happy that you joined us today. I am so excited to bring to the platform today Bohdan Paladiichuk. Can I say that?
Hi there. Absolutely. Nice to meet you.
From Kyiv, Ukraine, and who has been an active creative director, brand strategist, and entrepreneur for over a decade. Bohdan's creative vision combines tried and true practices in UI, UX design with a mastery in sound production, videography, copywriting, marketing, and human psychology. He has a documented history of transforming SaaS products into juicy brands that stand out from an ever-growing crowd. His technique focuses on striking the perfect balance between how good the product looks and how efficiently it works. So welcome, Bohdan. We appreciate you being here all the way from Ukraine. And as I stated to you before, my prayers go out to your country during this very, very difficult time. So thank you so much for sharing your moment with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for all the support to Ukraine. It's absolutely important right now, so thank you so much.
Absolutely. So what inspired you to start your company?
I decided that I want to make impact in this life, and it's a very good time to make, I think, very healthy and good impact for the people, because the technology provides the ability to do so. So that was for me the very interesting journey that I wanted to take, and the best vehicle that would probably allow me to do this impact at mass scale, I decided, is actually helping other entrepreneurs do that by working with them and also collaborating with talented people who are like designers and creatives that I have on my team. So combining that together creates a perfect vehicle for my journey on actually making the world a better place. I think it's always worthy to care not only about how you live your life and the experience you have, but try to kind of give out to the people, I believe, with the superpowers that you have in yourself. At least that is my philosophy, and that's what brought me where I am.
Absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's so you're not here for yourself alone. I always say that all the time, is you're here to help other people for sure. Wow. Okay, branding. Let's just do some definitions because people got all kinds of ideas of what branding is. From your perspective, what is branding?
Branding is what people think about your business or company or whatever you're doing. So it's the set of the associations that come up, and they're not always direct thoughts. They can be emotions as well. And some brands are very good at encoding the emotions into whatever they're showing to the world. So I believe the brand is about the image that somebody individually has about a certain business or anything. And the thing is, a person will always have certain opinion. So what we call branding in the way of doing it, or like in the way of business, it's probably like the intentional and strategized process to build this image that would serve your business goals, as again, the set of combination of associations that the customers are going to have. So being intentional about that is what we call branding in the business domain, I would say.
Okay. And how does your company support people to be able to get that image that they want to portray to the world?
Absolutely. It's about knowing what the person that is actually looking at your screen is perceiving. So understanding that part, understanding who you are, and then creating a compelling medium where these things, associations, emotions, words, imagery, visuals, everything that is going to form the message, and again, the way it's going to be read, is formed. So this is where we come up with our company. This is the way we do it. We always look at what the business is actually doing, what are they trying to achieve, what is their vision, who they are as the business, what the values are of the founders and of the company that drives them forward. And this is how you understand, okay, who they are. And then you understand who the customers are and what are their expectations, because it is very important to be relevant as well. And the better you know who you're serving, why you're serving, what life are they living, what things they are experiencing, the more you can be relevant in communicating that you're the best to solve this problem. So this is what we usually do when we do branding, is we definitely take a big focus on the strategic part of these things, setting things set in stone, the objectives again, and the tools that the business has that it wants to promote spread out, because we usually work with tools that make this world a better place, the tech industry. And yeah, this is how we run branding process.
Okay. Wow. So what are some of the mistakes that you see with startups in the branding message?
Totally skipping the part that I just told about, the strategy part. The startups would always rush to and jump into visual part of things. So I need the colors, the logo, the fonts, and that's it. That is going to be my branding. Yes, it will influence what people think about you, and your product will also as the major part of the experience, because there are different stages of how people perceive the brand and how this image is formed in their head. It's pre-purchase period, the purchase period, and then the post-service period, and the product, the purchase itself and the experience with it is going to play probably the biggest role in it. But it also is actually can be working in sync with the brand strategy. Again, if you know that you want to deliver the promise of the best product ever, for example, or the most renewable technology that exists out there, or like the one that is most efficient, I mean, in the renewable space, then you would probably, when you're crafting your product, you would also ask yourself, is this, kind of fulfilling the promise that we're trying to give to the world on every single stage of the product assembly, whether it's a tech product, which is web-based, or even physical product. Again, when everybody knows the promise that they're delivering on every single stage, people in the company that are touching the product and the whole business thing, they will be definitely aware of what decisions they should make in order to fulfill that promise. And I think that is very underestimated, because the startups are usually like in a rush and they just want to get something out there and then iterate. If that's the way, that's awesome. But again, the mistake number 2 is a lot of startups come back to the strategy part a bit later on. And I think it can be a problem, because you can never make a first impression. And I think the first impression aspect when the startup is just entering the market, to enter it like in a cool way is gonna really help to get the ball rolling. And if you're just entering mediocre and then trying to build up, it's a different game. And again, business is always about multiple variables, so it's not like the branding is the king, but it's definitely, it can make you a king if you know. Again, it's about how well do you know the tools that are right in front of you and how well you can utilize it to grow. So underlooked thing is the strategy part in the brand, the long-term vision of what image would be helping you to stand out, to sell the product for more expensive, maybe to sell it to users in an easier way, which will simplify all sales. So there are many benefits of branding strategy done properly, but yeah, not having it at all, I think.
Yes. And I think you touched on something that's very, very important, the vision. That needs to stand out. People need to know what your purpose is in your branding. So that's a critical piece, I believe, that, definitely should be thought out. You know what I mean? It's
For sure.
And when you're working with especially startups, how do because everybody's excited about their product and they think they're going to make oobs and gobs of money. That's the whole essence of it,
startup game,
to make money. And when you work with startups, how do you approach them when they're kind of all over the place? They kind of in a hurry, like you just mentioned. to get the product out and going, as opposed to how do you back them up and let them know, we need to do A, B, and C.
Thankfully, we have quite a big experience working with startups just because the cycle that we're working with them is relatively short. We usually help them like within the 3 months because that's, their sprint pace. Just do it in less than 3 months and then move. A lot of them will come back later on and we will form a huge like lasting relationship. But in the beginning, it's short cycle. So we worked with a lot of startups and we saw a lot of different founders, I would say. If you ask me, can you repeat the question, please? Because I think I just got lost in explaining how we.
That's okay. I mean, a new company coming to you with their product. What is some of the
exactly? So with this experience working with lots of startups, we kind of know that they're in a rush, and we know how to handle the process. We know how to control it, and we know what things should be happening in order for the startup to succeed or not. Because in the end of the day, a lot of startups fail, and unfortunately, a lot of our customer startups fail. And we also, as an agency working with them, we can spot these differences between, where things can go wrong and where they can go right. And actually, it has to do a lot with not just the brand part of it, I guess. But again, when you're working with a startup, it's very tight. I usually also am a big part of my project. So I'm also collaborating with the founders quite tightly. So I would also share all my experience in, maybe you don't even need a website right now. Maybe you need a strong presentation at the moment, for example, if your goal is like that. So maybe investing the budget into that would be more reasonable. So a lot of times the founders, as they open up about what actually problems they have, what stage they're in, the more they're transparent about these things, the more we can actually come up with potentially way better solution for them at the moment that would convince the people to get their product at their stage. So when they're messy, we've seen lots of different setups of mess, and we see where things can go wrong. So we try to kind of support somewhere with the practical things that we do, sometimes just with the advices or approaches to things. Sometimes we would recommend some frameworks, even to relook some business objectives as themselves, just because again we can use the same methodology in our design sprints, for example, and we can just teach them things. So I do like working with founders closely. I think it's very inspiring thing to happen, like this collaboration. So yeah, if they're all over the place, they got the energy. At least they got lots of energy, and then you can, you want to be part of it and you want to kind of guide it. That's what we do.
Absolutely. So if people want to work with you, how do they connect with you?
They actually connect with us through our website. That's the first place. They can connect with us through LinkedIn. We're a bit active there, I would say. We also have Instagram and Dribbble and lots of different media to find ourselves. And that's where our clients also like see us. They would see some cool design and say like, hey, we want something similar to that. But yeah, I would say the best way to contact us is definitely like the website. It tells a lot about who we are, I believe. It is disruptive and rebel, and it also gives an impression of what the work with us is going to be like, because we're definitely anti-mediocrity. We don't like playing it safe. We like playing it bold. And I think that what makes the difference, because how you plan to make it to the top by just fitting in and being just like everybody else. I think that's, yeah.
Yeah. And what's your website? What's your website address?
It's thecream.com with a Q.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll make sure that's a part of this interview as well, so people can get there. Wow. So what are some of the things you do? You create, what are the creative side? What do you create for customers?
Yeah, so we do actually way more things that are even more indicated on our website, because again, we are trying to find the creative solution to the problem the customer has. And they can be again coming asking, just requesting a website. We do amazing websites. We do like storytelling websites and 3D websites. We love them. And I think it's a very important thing for every business, because it's like a front store of it. We also, again, work a lot with the identity, and especially diving deeper in these levels that are way beyond just the colors and logo. So sometimes we would help a brand inventing, for example, a sonic identity, which is the sounds. For example, we have this payment app in Ukraine, and whenever you receive money, you hear the sound, ding, like the coins thing. Mm-hmm. And you didn't even interact with the interface, but you have you understood, kind of what thing you got. I think these all little details is what we're trying to help with on the creative side. So again, it's about enhancing the brand of whatever position it is. It can be the videos, the creative videos. We run them very frequently as well, because I think video content is one of the most powerful way to transform and I guess send any message that you're trying to send for the folks and the information. So yeah, it's usually the videos. Sometimes we would create the whole rap song for the video. If it's like some creative campaign, we would create the whole campaign. It can be sometimes like even like lasting brand experiences, such as designing the brand identity, but then the kind of shaping up the interior of the museum that is going to be built. Sometimes we also work not only with tech companies, but just with companies who make this world more richer place. So we're currently undergoing the project for Art Museum. So it's going to be the interior of museum, and then the videos, and then the brand concept, and then the creative storytelling around it, which are the ads and all the different printed materials and the digital materials and the website, and actually even the naming, I think, of the first opening event is also something we're going to do. So it's about, again, creating this whole experiences that is crafted from these small little details. But yeah, on a simple level, if you ask me like an elevator pitch, I would say websites, branding, and creative content. And we also design products. Digital products themselves is also part of what we do.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. And that's what a lot of businesses need, that they don't really have time to do, or they don't have the staffing to help them with that. And they definitely don't have the know-how, depending on the business, to be able to create these things. So that's very, very important in terms of, helping a company really take their place in the world.
For sure.
For sure, and like you said, first impressions are lasting. And you want to come out there, letting people know you mean business. From what you've done so far, what company or what actual project you really got really involved in?
Okay. Actually, it's the font of the president of Ukraine. We designed the brand identity for it right at the time of war, and I believe helping the man who is the man of the year by all the journals, and just a very close to our heart person that we respect, again, that is doing different things, on the front side of things. So we were at the same time supporting the educational platform of the fund of the president of Ukraine. So we actually went like all in. We created an amazing brand identity. We created a custom font. There's not that many Ukrainian good fonts in Cyrillic in general, but we created a custom one with a Ukrainian artist as well. We also created an amazing website that is very like simple, that is at the same time interactive and modern. And it is also like a very interesting challenge, because in Ukraine we do have the design and the digital products that are, I think, ahead of the time. For example, we have this national IDs in the app, and there's like a bunch of things you can do there, like from the government to person perspective. And the design of these things and all the governmental apps is just very big in Ukraine. So when you're making something as big as the presence of the president's fund, you have to also kind of, keep the culture there, but then make it also fancy, but at the same time make it strict, because it's kind of governmental. Not kind of, it's like fully governmental. So yeah, taking all these factors into account was extremely challenging, extremely responsible, but at the same time extremely rewarding for me personally as the creative director of the project, because I was tightly collabing. And that's actually, like, this project turned out also to lead to another huge project that we did, which is helping the war. It's called Spivdia. We actually founded a startup that already currently at the moment helped more than 1 million Ukrainians received humanitarian, which is like food support. And that was just launched also with my friend that I met while collaborating with the president's office. So yeah, I think experiences like that, they matter, and they make definitely business a very worthy thing to do, besides all the, I don't know, profits and anything like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. That's amazing. So I guess we can see some of the stuff on your website some of your work and some of the things that you've done. Wow,
Yes.
that's amazing. That is very amazing. So again, how do people connect with you?
Yeah, they can just hit me up on my LinkedIn. I'm Bohdan Paladiichuk there. You can find me by my name. I think it's pretty rare. Or you can find theqream.com. Again, it's just the best thing you can imagine. Qream, right? But with a Q. That's how we do it.
Yes, yes. So thank you, Bogdan, for taking time out of your day to meet with us. It has been really an engaging conversation. I've learned a lot. I'm sure our viewers will learn as much as as well as I did. So again, one more time, how do people connect with you? Because I'm really intrigued with what you do.
Absolutely. The easiest and shortest way is theqream.com. It has everything: the contacts, the email, or again, my personal LinkedIn, Bohdan Paladiichuk. I'm always reading the DMs and answering them. So yeah.
Okay, well, thank you again. And thank you, audience, for stopping by. We also appreciate you as well. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for tuning in to Just Minding My Business Radio. I'm your host, Ida Crawford. We hope you enjoyed the show and appreciate you stopping by. Many blessings to you and yours.